Well, so I've been driving around the Honda Amaze diesel for about 3 months now, and I have covered about 2,500 kilometers on this car. So the Amaze has primarily been used within city limits as my daily commute to office and back home. And to say that this car has amazed me in those 3 months would truly be an understatement. Well, the one area where the Amaze really does impress is in the fuel efficiency department. And when you are driving this car in the city, it delivers you a consistent efficiency figure of about 19-20 kpl with the AC on, mind you. And most of the times I have been stuck in chock-a-block city traffic. So in that sense, this car is very impressive. The other area where this car really does impress, the diesel version in fact impresses, is in the driver involvement. Now this car, of course, remember, isn't really in a segment where a lot of people are looking at driver-focused cars. But even then, if you are someone who enjoys pushing your car into corners, then the Amaze is the best option out there. And why do I say that? Well, essentially because the steering wheel is very communicative and very direct. The gearbox is really slick and very sporty to operate. And that, along with the light clutch and the dynamic chassis out there, really makes this car a hoot to drive. Well, another area where this car truly impresses is in the backseat comfort, and this car is one of the best cars. In fact, this car is the best car for sheer legroom as well as headroom, and the overall support from the cushioning on the seats is excellent as well. And what all that means is that if you are someone who prefers to be chauffeur driven and are looking at a budget sedan, then the Amaze is one of the best, if not the best option out there. The other plus point on the Amaze is, of course, the 400 litre boot capacity, which is second only to the Hyundai Accent. But the gap between the two cars isn't very big. The Accent is only bigger by about 7 litres. So in essence, both these cars are very similar. But the Amaze's boot seems to be better shaped and better at accommodating larger luggage. Well, so is the Amaze a perfect car? Well, no car is truly perfect. And the Amaze also has one major chink in its armory when you compare it with some other cars in this category, of course, is the fact that some of the features on this car are missing. For instance, you don't get electronic climate control on this car. You still get these manual switches and buttons over here. Well, another area where the Amaze truly impresses and has been very impressive is the fact that it offers you a very pliant ride. The suspension is very absorbent and it really does soak in those bumps and potholes without any fuss at all. There's very little that managed to filter inside the cabin, and that just goes to show the amount of engineering depth that Honda have managed to put into this car. Well, if you are someone who really does enjoy pushing his car into corners, and if you do take your car up to the hills on a very regular basis, then this really is the best entry-level sedan out there for you, because the steering wheel is really crisp, the tires offer you loads of grip, and that, along with the confidence-inspiring braking as well as this slick gearbox, makes this the best driver's car in the entry-level segment. Where the iD-Tech engine truly excels is in the fact that this engine starts responding from a relatively low 1600-1700 RPM, and power delivery is very good as well. And also remember, because it is a very light car, it does accelerate very briskly, and before you know it, you are doing speeds which are illegal on Indian highways. So if I had to describe my experience with the Amaze in one word, that one word would be amazing. And without any puns intended, I would truly recommend this car to anyone who is in the market for an entry-level mid-size car. And if you are someone who doesn't really drive too much and don't want the iD-Tech engine, I would recommend the iV-Tech engine, which is the petrol motor, because that engine is silky smooth and also very fuel efficient.